legends of Jews in Europe was that on the Sabbath, so every Saturday, they kidnapped a Christian child and murdered it as part of the Sabbath celebration. And so when they came to the United States after the Revolution, the synagogue in Newport, Rhode Island, wrote a letter to then President Washington, requesting that Jews in the United States be given civil rights. That not only are they allowed to be tolerated as people, but they wanted to actively participate in civic offices in the United States. George Washington's reply, I think, should be much wider known than it is. And I want to read one section of it, but I also want to highlight, while we read this, we also need to keep in mind that George Washington was a slaveholder, right? And so, as my own academic and activist has sort of pushed my brain into accepting certain things, I think that it's important to, when we read this, to keep that in mind, but also not limit his behavior to our interpretation of the vision of what he had for the country. And that we should say, I would say when I read this, that this represents values that I think are important, and that I want to live in this kind of country. So, this is from the third paragraph. The citizens of the United States of America have a right to applaud themselves for having given to mankind examples of an enlarged and liberal policy, a policy that is worth intimidating. All possesses alike liberty of conscience and immunities of citizenship, and is now no more than that toleration spoken of as it was by the indulgence of one class of people that another enjoyed the exercise of inherent national gifts. For happily the government of the United States, which gives bigotry no sanction, persecution no assistance, requires only that they live under its protection, should demean themselves as good citizens. It is giving on all occasions their effectual support.
We didn't have that.
Oh, I haven't either.
My bad.
My bad.